Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. The glow of Christmas lights always seems to bring out a softer kind of magic. The kind that settles quietly over a story and turns ordinary moments into something unforgettable. And for Ben Rosenbaum, this year feels like an intertwining of everything he loves about storytelling. The heart of the holidays, the emotion of a character discovering where they truly belong, and the unmistakable connection he shares with fans through When Calls the Heart. It's as if the season itself has wrapped his world in a warm blanket of memory, hope, and a few delightful surprises. Ben has always been thoughtful when talking about his roles, but something changes whenever he speaks of his holiday projects. There's a brightness, an almost childlike excitement, and it's that spark that appears again as he reflects on his newest movie, The Christmas Cup. The name alone hints at something whimsical, but the film digs deeper into the themes he loves most: belonging, healing, and rediscovering joy when life feels a little unsettled. He steps into the story with a tenderness that comes from years of shaping characters who aren't afraid to be vulnerable. And this time, he reveals, the holiday backdrop didn't just enhance the film, it shaped the entire emotional core. He remembers the quiet mornings on set, the frost gathering on rooftops, the way fake snow swirled through the air even though the weather was mild. Every time the camera rolled, he found himself slipping further into the world of the movie, where Christmas wasn't merely a decoration but a turning point for his character's life. But what caught him off guard was how naturally the emotional tone settled in. It wasn't forced, he muses. Sometimes holiday films jump straight into the festive spirit. But this one grew its magic slowly. It's that slow, transformative magic that he holds on to, the kind that doesn't need bright lights to be meaningful. The story itself allowed him to explore a side of holiday storytelling that isn't always highlighted: this search for home. His character, though surrounded by festive cheer, begins the journey uncertain, almost unaware of what he's missing. But as the film unfolds, a familiar warmth makes its way into the scenes in Old Town, a rediscovered community, and connections that have waited quietly for him to return. Ben smiles when talking about these elements because they remind him of something close to his heart, the idea that home is not a place, but the feeling of being seen. That idea ties closely to how fans perceive him in When Calls the Heart. In Hope Valley, he has spent years crafting a character viewers have grown deeply attached to. The sense of home, belonging, loyalty, and emotional grounding in the show mirrors themes from The Christmas Cup, making the holiday project feel like an extension rather than a departure. Ben appreciates that connection. In interviews, he's rarely one to seek comparisons. But here, he admits that both worlds gave him the same sense of comfort. There's a peacefulness to Hope Valley, he says, and I think that same peacefulness found its way onto the set of The Christmas Cup. It isn't lost on him that his work on When Calls the Heart has shaped how fans interpret his holiday roles. There's a softness they expect, a certain integrity, and a grounded emotional presence he has become widely recognized for. For Ben, that alignment is both flattering and motivating. It encourages him to choose stories that speak truthfully to the heart, stories where optimism isn't naive but courageous. That's the thread that runs through all of his performances, a desire to leave audiences feeling a little more hopeful than before. When asked about his favorite moments filming The Christmas Cup, Ben doesn't jump to the big scenes or the most dramatic sequences. Instead, he talks about a quiet evening shoot when the cast gathered around a small-town Christmas tree. The lights were dim, the set was nearly silent, and the cold evening breeze made the moment feel incredibly real. He recalls that the director didn't call cut immediately. Instead, they all stayed in the moment, allowing the simple, genuine emotion to wash over them. "Those are the scenes you don't forget," he says softly. Not because they're big, but because they feel honest. Honesty is what guides him through every character he plays. Whether he's portraying a man rediscovering love, reconnecting with old memories, or stepping into Hope Valley each season, He approaches each role with delicate attentiveness. For the Christmas Cup, that translated into an emotional arc that felt grounded and sincere. His character doesn't leap into the holiday spirit instantly. He tiptoes toward it, hesitant, but hopeful. Ben believes audiences will resonate with that journey, especially in a world where not everyone feels festive right away. Sometimes the magic comes slow, he says, but that doesn't make it any less magical. The film also allowed him to explore themes of forgiveness and renewal, which he finds deeply meaningful. Holiday movies often emphasize romance and grand gestures. But this one embraces something gentler. The idea that healing often happens in small, quiet moments. Maybe it's a cup of cocoa shared with someone who's been missed for too long. Maybe it's an old tradition that suddenly feels new again. Or maybe it's a heartfelt conversation under a string of holiday lights, reminding someone that they're not as alone as they think. Ben finds beauty in these understated scenes and says those were the days on set when he felt the most connected to his character. One particularly touching storyline involved a young, supporting character child who brings innocence and curiosity to the narrative. Ben immediately felt drawn to those scenes, not because they were dramatic, but because they captured that pure holiday wonder he remembers from his own childhood. Kids in holiday movies often serve as the emotional catalyst, and here he feels the balance was perfect. The child's presence reminded his character, and Ben himself, why Christmas stories matter. It brings us back to the basics, he reflects. Kindness, hope, belonging. It's natural connection to emotional storytelling. It's one of the reasons he feels so deeply attached to When Calls the Heart. The show, with its themes of community and gentle perseverance, mirrors the spirit of classic holiday films. Ben acknowledges that working on the series has shaped his understanding of what audiences crave: authenticity. Hope Valley may be fictional, but the emotions it evokes are real. As he continues to develop his character season after season, he carries that understanding with him. The audience isn't just watching Hope Valley, he explains. They're feeling it. That emotional investment is something he never takes for granted. Over the years, he has watched the Hardys grow into a passionate, deeply loyal community. Their enthusiasm extends far beyond the show into the behind-the-scenes moments, the actors' lives, and even their holiday projects. Ben understands that connection and is humbled by it. Working on the Christmas Cup gave him a chance to offer fans a different kind of story while still honoring the gentle, uplifting tone they love from his work on WCTH. In a way, he sees it as giving them a little holiday gift, something warm, comforting, and full of heart. But the film didn't just deepen his connection with fans. It also reminded him of the importance of slowing down. Filming days can be long, the schedule demanding, but the Christmas Cup carried a softness that lingered between scenes. The cast and crew spent time talking about their own holiday memories, sharing stories of traditions, family gatherings, and childhood joys. Ben enjoyed those conversations as much as he enjoyed filming. They reminded him that the holiday season is as much about human connection as it is about festive celebration. Sometimes, he reflects, the most meaningful moments happen when the cameras aren't rolling. Of course, the switch between filming a holiday movie and stepping back into Hope Valley is a transition he's gotten used to over the years. But he admits that this time, something felt different. Perhaps because the themes overlapped so naturally. Perhaps because both stories emphasized community. Or perhaps because he was experiencing a season of personal reflection. Whatever the reason, he found it surprisingly seamless to carry that emotional warmth from the Christmas Cup into his work on When Calls the Heart. It's as if both projects, though entirely separate, contributed to the same bigger narrative, one about home, love, and the courage to embrace change. He chuckles as he recalls one moment during filming when a fan recognized him as his WCTH character rather than the role he was playing in the holiday film. It didn't bother Jim. In fact, he found it heartwarming. To him, it's a reminder that Hope Valley has become a second home. Not just for the characters, but for the viewers who faithfully return season after season. That familiarity is something he cherishes. As the conversation deepens, Ben reflects on how his own journey as an actor has paralleled the themes in his stories. He talks about times when he felt uncertain, unsure of his direction, and how each role helped him uncover a little more of himself. The Christmas Cup, he admits, arrived at a time when he needed to reconnect with what mattered most. Its story of rediscovering home, opening the heart, and choosing joy over fear resonated deeply with him. Sometimes the roles choose you, he says quietly. This one, it felt like it chose me. His voice softens when talking about the film's message. It isn't loud or overly dramatic. Instead,